Chains clink softly as Ariel is led into the courtroom, her wrists bound, her eyes defiant but weary. She stands tall, wearing the same protest shirt she wore the day she was arrested, words about justice faded but visible. Officer Briggs sits with a smug expression, tapping a pen rhythmically, his eyes locked on her like a predator circling prey. The judge, disinterested and impatient, calls the room to order. Briggs steps forward, claiming Ariel disrupted court protocol by refusing to comply with a dress code, claiming her hair was a distraction and a sign of disrespect. The courtroom murmurs in confusion, disbelief. Ariel remains silent, her fists clenched, holding her ground. Then comes the order. The judge, siding with Briggs without question, coldly states, "Officer, do what you must to restore order." Ariel's breath catches. Two bailiffs approach, and one produces a pair of clippers. The sound of the buzzing fills the room, harsh and violent. Ariel is forced into a chair, and before anyone can intervene, her thick, beautiful curls begin to fall to the cold courtroom floor. A tear slips down her cheek, but she doesn't blink. Her eyes stay locked on Briggs, whose grin only widens. Every lock of hair that falls is a blow not just to her dignity, but to the ideals she stood for. The courtroom watches, stunned, silent, paralyzed. A camera flashes. Somewhere someone records. Ariel closes her eyes, as if sealing the moment deep inside her, not in shame, but as fuel. Late nights blend into early mornings as Ariel sits alone in the quiet corner of a public library, surrounded by stacks of law books, her head still bare, covered only by a simple scarf. The hum of fluorescent lights above is the only sound as she scribbles notes furiously, her eyes sharp with determination. Flashbacks of that courtroom incident haunt her. Briggs' smirk, the cold buzz of clippers, the weight of humiliation, but she doesn't flinch anymore. Instead, each memory hardens her resolve. Montage, she works long shifts during the day, then studies into the night. Rejected from internships, overlooked in class, but she never quits. A mentor finally takes notice. She starts to shine. Her hair begins to grow back, short at first, then fuller, a physical sign of her rebuilding spirit. In moot court, she speaks with calm authority, facing rooms full of people who once might have dismissed her. Now, they listen. She begins winning debates, earning respect. Her name rises quietly. She passes the bar exam. No celebration. Just a silent nod to herself in the mirror. She trades the scarf for her natural curls and buys her first black robe. The transformation is complete, not just in appearance, but in power. What was taken from her in a courtroom will now be reclaimed there, not through revenge, but through justice. Rain taps softly against the courthouse windows as people shuffle into the courtroom, unaware that today will mark a turning point. Officer Briggs sits at the defendant's table, older now, but no less arrogant. Accused of misconduct, he leans back casually, believing the system is still on his side. His lawyer whispers something, and he nods smugly. The murmurs fade as the bailiff stands and announces, "All rise." Briggs barely glances up until he hears the clicking of heels. His eyes lift slowly and they freeze. Judge Ariel Thomas enters in full robes, her presence commanding, her once-shaved head now crowned with natural curls. Her expression is unreadable. Calm, composed, powerful. Briggs blinks, momentarily disoriented. He shifts in his seat, his face draining of color. The same woman he humiliated now holds the gavel. Ariel doesn't flinch. She takes her seat with quiet authority, scans the room, and begins court proceedings without acknowledging the personal history. But every word she speaks, every motion she makes, carries unspoken weight. The courtroom feels heavier. Witnesses glance between them, sensing something deeper unfolding. Briggs stares, rattled, sweat forming on his brow. For the first time, he doesn't feel in control. The silence between them is louder than any accusation, because justice now wears the face of the woman he tried to destroy. The courtroom is hushed as the final witness steps down, and all eyes turn to Judge Ariel Thomas. The evidence has been laid bare: body cam footage, victim testimonies, patterns of abuse stretching years. Officer Briggs sits rigid, no longer smug, his eyes hollow. Ariel looks at him for a moment, her gaze steady, unblinking. Then she turns to the courtroom, her voice calm but resolute. This court has heard enough. Abuse of power, especially by those sworn to protect, is not only a legal failure, it's a moral one. Her tone is even, emotion controlled, but every word strikes with precision. This is not about who you were to me. It's about who you chose to be with the badge you wore. Briggs shifts uncomfortably, trapped not just by the charges, but by the weight of a reckoning long overdue. Ariel doesn't raise her voice, but the room hangs on every word. Justice does not forget. It does not humiliate. It restores. She delivers the verdict, guilty on all counts. A murmur ripples through the gallery, but Ariel stays composed. She bangs the gavel once, firm, final. As the bailiff moves to take Briggs away, their eyes meet one last time. He is broken. She is unshaken. Not by revenge, but by the quiet triumph of truth. Outside, cameras flash, but Ariel walks past them without a word. Her silence is louder than applause, her justice complete.